an assembly of sinners saved by the power of the gospel of Jesus Christ. That's who we are.
What I remember most about that day is just people running, didn't know where to go. People were climbing fences, and that's how a lot of people got injured, because they would climb fences to get out and the fence would fall. First thing that came to mind was my family, and just what I would tell my brother about my sister-in-law, what I would tell my niece about her mom. I also had my cousin there with me and my cousin's friend, who was like family. And we literally all just split up. I didn't know if something had happened to them, or if they were hiding, where they were hiding, if they'd been shot. I don't know if they were together, if they were separate. So that was just something horrible. But I remember that day, I prayed, for the lives of others around me, but just for me to be able to find my family and just for them to be alive. That day I saw God different because, we don't know when our life ends. It could be now, it could be when I step out of this room. We don't know. But that day it was an experience that no one really experienced. It's something people watch on TV. I returned back to Calvary Chapel that following Sunday, and they had an event where they were announcing what had happened on October 1. And it was very emotional, And I remember that night wanting to speak to Pastor Derek, just because I thought about what I've been going through. And now, especially with this event, my heart goes out to everyone who lost someone, but, God uses everything to glorify Him. And I continue to pray for those people who did this to others, and just for people that were there. Before my relationship with God, when I would have a struggle or something I was going through, I would drink a lot. That was my go-to. As you're drinking, it relaxes you more and you forget what's going on. But at the same time, you're gonna be sober in a couple hours or the next day, and we're back to reality. The problem is still there, so it didn't really fix anything. I was sitting in a seat here in Calvary Chapel, and God just filled me with His Holy Spirit, and just gave me the strength to get up and give my life to Him that day. As I was walking forward, I was just kind of like a relief, but nervous in a way. I was tired of it. I didn't care what anyone thought around me. I sat there for a while. Like I said, I attended church since August, and it took me that long just to get up and, give my life to the Lord. But in that moment, I have nothing, and I needed Him, and He's helped me a lot. My first mission trip was to Mazatlan, and I was able to interact with the people who I went with. And when we returned from the trip, I was able to start, friendships here at the church. Because when I attended church, I would just attend church and I would leave right away. And now after this mission trip, I stuck around, and I actually had someone to talk to, and I felt comfortable with. And I started getting involved with, Teardown, and got to know more people. And little by little, God's helped me on the road, and just He's brought me here, and He's blessed me a lot. Even since the beginning, I've been wanting to explain to my family and friends, people I know, who I used to hang around with, and we talk about church, and people thought it was it's good for you, that you're in a better place. But it's something that you have to experience it yourself. And unfortunately, sometimes we have to go through something horrible for us to literally just give our life to the Lord and for Him to help us, because that's when we cry out the most that we need Him. I praise Him every day, and I thank Him for what He's doing in my life. And I thank Him because My brother lives in California, and not too long ago he came to visit, and both him and his wife gave their life to the Lord. And 2 weeks later, my mom gave her life to the Lord here at this church. I was thanking God. For the minute I saw them walking up, it broke my heart just to see what, how good it's going to be for them. And yes, they're going to have their struggles just like everyone, but just to know that they're on God's side and God's with them.
Now is the time for us to believe God for something great.